Welcome to the Girlfriend's Guide to Senior Living. I'm Gail Peacock.
And I'm Lori Williams.
And we are so happy you could join us. We're passionate about helping families navigate the senior living maze. Each episode, we will share with you our knowledge of senior living and help you to eliminate the uncertainties you face in the search for senior resources.
Hey girlfriends, welcome back to another episode of the Girlfriend's Guide to Senior Living. Who are we again? So we're coming to y'all live, and we're so glad you're joining us. Last episode, we talked about senior living, about senior apartments, 55 plus, and we kind of defined what that was all about and who would be a good fit for it. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch that episode. So this episode, we're going to talk about independent living and kind of break down the differences between the two and kind of know where you'd be a fit. So through the show, if you have any questions at all, just you can type them in the comments, and even after the show we'll go back and read comments. So if you're watching this not live but afterwards, just be sure to write down any comments. We're happy to answer them.
Do a little quick recap.
Yes. Okay, are you doing the recap?
You go for it.
Okay, let me do a recap. Okay guys, so 55 plus senior living, when we talked about that, what it's all about is really just kind of like a regular apartment. So you're not going to have all the amenities and whatnot. So it's just like a regular apartment. You pay for your utilities. Most people are still working. So Gail had a great way that she put it, which was some people are working by check or by choice. How did you say it? Choice or by check. I really love that. I need to remember it though. So that's what 55 plus senior living is. So on the other side of it is independent living. So we're going to break that down.
So independent living may also be referred to, that you've heard it as retirement community, retirement living, and all-inclusive independent living, which is pretty much how I've heard it through my wonderfulness career here. So what we're going to explain about this, this is a new term, amenity-filled, maintenance-free living, which I really like that.
I like that too. That
it has
really
all the
it.
bells and whistles, carefree lifestyle. That's the one that we used to use in that industry. You only pay one bill, so your monthly rent includes all of your utilities. It includes basic cable a lot of times. And it's all just every month you pay just one bill, so it makes it really easy.
And it includes your meals, and depending on the community, they're all different. There's so many different varieties of this, but it could be one meal, it could be two, it could be three included.
And a lot of times it can be your choice. So if you want to have a little ditty in your apartment in the morning, you're not a morning person, for breakfast, you could just, it works for you. It's flexible, so that's nice. You're not paying for things you don't need. They have studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. Lori says she's seen some 3 bedrooms in this. So you can have a couple where the husband wants a TV room and she wants a little, I'm going to say sewing room, but yeah, what are we in the 1920s? Anyway.
what I'm seeing a lot of now is that they want either, two things. They snore, so they each want their own room, or they want a computer room, like a study office kind of thing, so where they can do all their computer stuff.
Which... Facebook. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe we can hire them. So we talked about the meals. Something about the menu that I think we need to share is, so they usually have 2 choices. Lunch is your main meal. And then dinner's a little bit lighter before you're going to go to bed. And then they have like an option menu. So if you want a burger, grilled cheese, just something chef salad, just something low key, you can also have that at either meal, lunch, or dinner. So you have options.
You have choices, which is important because you may not want salmon or whatever, whatever the choice is. Also, with the apartments, the majority of them are going to have kitchenettes. And the reason they do that is because you don't need to be cooking. And that's probably why you've moved in. And a lot of ladies will say, but I still cook. And you ask, when was the last time you cooked? It was 10 years ago. So
it's like going to like a hotel and being like, I love the workout room, and you're like, I'm never going to use it, but you're really impressed with that.
I have never once used the workout room. Does that surprise anyone? But
That's awesome.
I know. The nice thing with the kitchenettes, though, they have a usually full-size refrigerator, or one of those kind of like skinny ones. So you could have, your ice cream if you want to snack on that. And they have microwaves, so you can make your microwave popcorn or heat up. Maybe you had lunch and you didn't eat it all. You could heat it up later for dinner. And they have a sink. So that's typically what you're going to have in most of these type of
more so for
communities.
like your ditties, right? So your main food will be cared for, and then if you're a snacker or any extra things. Transportation is huge, so you don't have to worry about driving and those worries about parking and all that kind of stuff. So they bring you right up to the door. They go to Walmart, doctor's offices. You can work within their plan of when they do doctor visits. They can drop you at the doctor and pick you back up, so you don't have to bother your kids to try to get that in their schedule, if you will. The transportation is definitely something that everyone takes advantage of.
Yeah, that's huge. And I think you mentioned housekeeping. So it's usually weekly housekeeping. Some communities will actually do your linens and towels, which I would be all for that.
Change my bed and remake it.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Let's see. Socializing. That's huge. That's a big reason why people end up moving into these types of communities, because they do all kinds of, all kinds of opportunities to socialize. You have other people there to talk to and make friends.
Kibitz with share past histories, kind of the same age range, so you kind of grew up in the same timing, if you will. And then they do different engagements outside of the community. So they go to the museum and the casinos and all that kind of stuff. So again, you would take the bus and they would take you there, drop you right there, enjoy your day, and then you would come right back on the bus and then go home. So they've thought of a lot. The exercise, so if they have a pool, outdoor water aerobics, they can do Tai Chi, they can do a lot of different things within the community that you get to meet people too, so it's a social aspect.
And then with exercise, they also do it for wherever you are. I mean, you may, some people may be in walkers or wheelchairs, and they do seated exercises. They do, there's so many options that there's something for everyone.
Yeah, it's geared towards, obviously, the seniors, so they have options.
Yeah.
Just like high impact or low impact aerobics, let's get physical, just saying.
And I do have a question.
Please.
So what kind of client is this aimed to? Who's the, audience?
So the audience for this type of community is going to be someone who has been, at home, and we've got a couple of tips to think about. So
who's a good fit, if you will.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Like, for example, if your mom is no longer cooking and she is, you go over there and she's snacking, she's not eating right, she's not eating a well-balanced meal. So that she may be a perfect fit for this, because she needs to be in a community where meals are provided.
Right. And if all of a sudden dad's forgetting to take his meds, there are, that's an assistance that people can get help with to make sure that they stay on their medication. So that's a big deal. And getting it refilled, too.
Yeah, that's an extra service, but that's what these communities are all about, different services. So they could have, go on service with a home care agency, could make sure he's taking his medication.
And just worrying about the upkeep of your home. So if you're sick of the yard and all those responsibilities, they do everything for you. So they get all the grounds beautiful, the maintenance is free. So if your toilet's running, they can come in, you call them, they come in and fix it. So none of those worries of having to get that appointment set.
Exactly. Or someone who's become very isolated, maybe they've lost their spouse, or they just physically aren't able to get out. It's a lot of work to get in your car and drive somewhere. So they're really become isolated, and they're just watching TV all day, which is not good for anyone.
We don't like that.
No.
And as an adult child, crossing your fingers every time your parents get in their car to drive somewhere. With the transportation, you don't have that worry, and they're going to be safe. A lot safer than they would driving their own car. So, it takes away those worries.
Yeah. And then couples, we get this one a lot, where the couple, one may have maybe some dementia starting or some other physical issues, and one has kind of stepped into that role of a caregiver. And that's become a lot on them, trying to also take care of a home and cook and clean and do all of these things. So it makes perfect sense to move into a community like this, where all that's taken care of, and they just get to enjoy time together. And
they don't have to be a caregiver anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They get to be the husband or the wife.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense, because then you can enjoy your time together those years where, you're saying you're enjoying being a partner on that next chapter, but yet you're not really, having those needs covered.
Exactly. Well, so another like really important thing, all of these communities have activities coordinators. They call them different things, but they're people who make sure everyone's getting involved and
inviting
them,
knocking on the door, making sure that if they forgot about it, that they're invited. Because this age range, they still wait for an invitation because that's kind of what we just show up. We never RSVP. I'm terrible at that. We never RSVP anymore. And so that respect is still there. So a lot of times getting invited and keeping the energy going.
Yes. That's so important.
Yes. That's a full-time job.
The activities person's going to be the one. It's good if you have someone who's really creative and they're coming up with fun ideas for events. They book, entertainment to come in. There's lots of like really, famous and senior living people who come around and do some extraordinary shows.
I have a lot of talents.
I enjoy going myself.
Yes, they really do. And they're there for the right reasons. And it's very obvious when they're performing that they want to, entice the seniors to get up and dance. And all that.
So we, Gail and I did a Girlfriends on the Road, and we went out we thought about who do we really think does a spectacular job as an activities person. And so it didn't take us long to come up with the right person. She was top of our mind. So we have a clip that Anna's going to play for us, our interview with Rhonda Bedrick.
And we're at Pinewood Hills Independent Living, and we want to show you what that's all about. Can tell you about that, but mostly we want to focus on the socialization part and the activities that they do here. So the perfect person for that is our dear friend Rhonda Bedrick. And what is your title here, Rhonda?
I am the Resident Experience Coordinator.
And she gives them a great experience here. And we have known Rhonda for many years and love and adore her. And she's doing some fabulous things out here, which is why we decided we had to speak with her.
She's been chosen.
Yes. So first off, what's your passion? We know this is your passion, but what led you to what you're doing now?
Servanthood, and as a staff member for Holiday Retirement, Pinewood Hills Retirement Community. We believe in strength, purpose, and belonging for our residents, and that is our daily goal: strength, purpose, and belonging for them. But the true thing is that when I walk through that door, that's what they're giving me day in and day out. I don't come to work. I come and see my family. Friends and family. That is my family.
That's great. That's beautiful. And you have told me that before, and I love that. I know it made me tear up the first time she told me that, because I think that's just so beautiful, and what a passion, and how lucky the residents here are to have you.
How lucky I am to have them.
And they are feeling like they are a priority, and Rhonda's helping them, give them purpose, and maybe get out of their shell a little bit to try something new that they haven't tried before, or maybe wanted to but were too afraid to. So that's a very powerful position, and so we're so glad you're doing that.
Isn't she the best? We had so much fun with Rhonda, and you're going to see a few more clips from her as we go on. So we were talking about independent living, and we can tell you all about it, but sometimes it's best if we just kind of give you an analogy, and I'm always good with the visual. So the visual we came up with, and people have used this in the industry, but all-inclusive independent living. Think about it like a cruise ship. So if you've ever been on a cruise, that is pretty much what it's like. So the Love Boat, everyone remembers the Love Boat?
The Love Boat. We love the Love Boat.
We had to make sure she had that moment.
I have to love the Love Boat. So we're going to go through the list. So we were laughing and going through and trying to figure out everybody, and we were like, we could remember them like this because we're amazing. Yeah. This is our timing. So Captain Stubing was the captain, which is kind of like our executive director, manager, one that's running the whole show, if you will, keeping everybody afloat, the leader of the ship and where it's going. The next one is Isaac, which you love that guy. He's like...
He was the bartender, but we figured, okay, we're going to make him like in charge of like food services.
Yes.
You know, so he was, you know, when you think of it, Isaac in a community, that's the person making sure they're having really yummy foods and healthy. And so you've got that taken care of. So you always have food, and there's always snacks around too in these,
Always.
just like a cruise ship.
Yes, always something to find. We have Mr. Doc, who was the medical help, and so we have those assistant partners that we have on site. Home health that can come in and help us with different thing on the medical side.
Yeah, that's always an extra charge, though.
Right.
There's extra fee for that. There's even some doctors who make house calls.
Yes, that's true. And they have actual doctors that are in the community that will come and see patients just regular, but they come to your apartment, which the house call thing is coming back, just so you guys know.
That's wonderful. And then Gopher, like, okay, it took us a minute. We're like, what did Gopher do?
We were Googling, what did Gopher do? He was a gopher.
He was, he was the purser. Okay. So
that's a big word.
It is. And
What's
we're
a
like,
purser?
Well, thank you for asking.
Thank you, Anna. You're just right on cue.
We Googled that. So a purser handles the money. So
which is kind of scary. Gopher was kind of like a little bit of a dingling.
He was.
And he's the one in charge of the money.
Yeah, he was. And then they would also be the one who would do like order supplies and things. So we thought that might work well with the business office manager.
Right.
Because that's what they're doing. They're collecting that one check, which covers everything. You're not having to write a check for utilities and cable and all that stuff. It's all just one check. So that's our business office manager. Sorry, business office managers, but you're Gopher.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, is that a compliment? We're working you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Julie McCoy. Everyone loves Julie McCoy.
Yes.
And she's always smiling and walking through and making love connections,
She's
which
our
happens too at our communities. The love connections are happening.
Yeah, but Julie's more the activities, just like Rhonda, who you met a few minutes ago.
Yep.
So she was always coming up with the fun things that they're doing and encouraging them to keep doing things. Go see this
on the Lido deck.
On the Lido deck. Thank you. And then, like Gail said, having the love connections, which I think
she would make them sit with different people at dinner,
Yes.
like, oh, and this is Patrick, and blah blah. And they always had mustaches. The men. I don't,
Well,
that
it
must
was
have been
the
the time.
80s. It was
Oh.
no, it was actually 70s.
Yeah, that was
but-
like when we were little kids. It was on at 7:00 on Saturday night, I think.
And then Fantasy Island came
I know.
afterwards.
We weren't allowed to watch Fantasy Island because it was
Really?
kind of dirty. It was very sexy, supposedly.
Ricardo Montalban.
And so we had to go to bed with the
Did you really?
short guy. Yeah, we had to go to bed after the Love Boat. So
That's
sorry.
too bad. Sorry,
missed
you
out
missed
on the love
out.
connections
You missed out
there.
on that. But I mean, I think that's just the perfect analogy just to tie it all together. So y'all picture when you think all-inclusive independent living, it's a cruise ship. So we have another clip from our visit with Rhonda. She was doing because she's so creative. She had a really fun event, and she's going to tell us about it.
So we could go on and on about this lifestyle and how much fun and how active they are here, but what we want to talk about are the dances that they put on here at Pinewood Hills. So tell us about that, Rhonda.
Okay, so I'm really excited to tell you about this evening's event. We are having the Hot Havana Nights. It's hot August days, but we're going to have a Hot Havana Night.
I wish you could see her dance.
And since it's going to be so hot tonight, we just thought that we would have the shining faces for the film because it's going to be so hot. It's a little warm in here, but we're just going with it.
Right.
Hot Havana Nights, baby!
So we've got some salsa dancers coming in.
Awesome.
And they're going to do their demonstrations, but then they're going to teach us how to do some salsa and bachata. So
I thought that was a liquor.
That's Bacardi.
And that's why I need Lori in my life, people.
So we've got a happy hour kicking the event off. It'll be adult beverages if they prefer to take that. We also offer tea and lemonade for those that, due to medication or whatever. We want to be aware of that.
I don't want to be too
That's right. That's right. So we'll have some appetizers, and then our entertainment will begin. And once they've done their demonstration, then they're going to be teaching us how to do those salsa moves.
So again, not everyone's just going to be watching a show of someone else doing it. They're going to engage
That's
the
right.
residents to teach them. And I can honestly say, how many of us have been taught how to salsa dance, and our parents are getting this, and we're not.
Yeah.
We're missing out, man.
And they can choose whether they just like to watch, or they can enjoy, or they can jump in,
or they
and
can be engaged.
Yeah, and I'm coming to the event tonight, so I'm taking pictures and video, and maybe I'll dance.
Rhonda, make sure that you video Lori dancing
I
because I
will,
want to
I
see her shaking.
Well, we'll see about that.
I will. So we're stimulating them emotionally, socially, keeping them active, and nobody wants to sit around. When you sit around, that's when everything kind of stiffens up. But let me tell you, our residents, they don't sit around. If they cannot physically get up to stand up, they're chair dancing. They have got those little joints moving, and
That's awesome.
we're twisting in the chair, and I encourage them to do that at all times. So
The only time that they're sitting is when we roll out a show and they're watching our show. Rhonda allows them to sit at that point.
I do.
They're our biggest fans.
Right. And then, we all love to eat, and our chef is making a Cuban fare this evening.
I'm
Woo, gotta get a photo of
We're
that.
going to
Yes,
have,
it's gonna be amazing.
it is going to be absolutely delicious.
So if you're not at Pinewood tonight, you're missing out.
You are
And you can
missing
see it
out.
on
Join
Facebook.
us.
Yes. Ask for Rhonda.
Yeah, and keep an eye on it because Rhonda always does fun events. She has Hawaiian theme. What other things have you done? You've done all kinds of fun themes.
Oh my gosh, we've had a pie eating contest. We had a hot dog eating contest. We couldn't let those days go by any means. We're always casino nights.
I was going to say, what was that last one you
We've
were
got
at?
our Veterans Affair, our huge
That's always
community Veterans Affair will be coming up in November. Yeah, so that's where we have a beautiful night of wonderful food, entertainment, and just socializing.
There you go.
It is a full packed house. You do not want to miss it. Get your tickets early.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of raffle prizes. Is that what we call them, raffle prizes? Where you
Yeah,
put
and
your-
door,
all kinds of
raffle
great prizes.
drawings, door prizes, exactly.
And
So-
all the money goes to a good cause, goes to the
Yes.
veterans. And we always pick a different group.
Right.
It was
Yep.
women veterans last year. I'm not sure what we're doing this year, but I'm sure it'll be
Stay
fabulous.
tuned, my friends.
That's
So-
right. It's going to be a big, big thing. Come on down and join us.
So if you haven't been out to visit, you are missing out.
Yes.
So- well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Girlfriends on the Road. And as always, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. We have our own channel, so please go subscribe. You can also find us on Alexa. So just find us. All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, Rhonda. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So as you can see, we had a lot of fun at Hot Havana Nights, or I did. And the residents were amazing. They got up, they were dancing in their seats. They had a blast, and it was a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about. That's
Rhonda
what
did
it's
a
about.
fabulous job, and as you can see in the interview, she is fabulous. So we have another clip that we're not going to be able to share because it's a little bit long, but we're going to share it on our Facebook page so you can see it, where Rhonda talks a lot about different activities and fun things they've done. So we have a couple of pictures though. So we'll pop those up. So this is beanbag baseball.
This is serious business.
They are
have
actually-
yes.
yeah, they're a team.
They have a team. They have shirts. The Panthers. They go on and on about, they're very competitive is the word I'm looking for. And then they go to different communities and other communities do it. It's kind of like the cornhole in our day. That we're playing, and so they have their own actual board that says Pinewood Hills, and it's like a baseball theme.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. So if you ever go out there, you need to ask them about that.
Yeah, and anyone can play because you can do it if you're seated, if you're in a wheelchair, if you're on a walker. It's inclusive for everyone. And Rhonda even shares, you'll have to watch the video, but they have cheerleaders too.
Yes. So if you don't want to play, but you just want to cheer in the backside, you can do that too. So
We thought that was so cute. And then also in the clip, Rhonda shared with us that they do some fun outings. And one of their outings, they went to Paula Dean's restaurant out here in Dallas. Dallas. And look who they were with, Paula Deen.
She was there. Can you believe that?
And when they called ahead, they found out she just happened that she was going to be there.
Yep.
And they told, Rhonda said, we're bringing a group of seniors out. And she said, well, okay, I'll be there. And she greeted them at the door.
And they did say the food was amazing. It was delicious. They all enjoyed.
Yeah.
But that's, all the way from Flower Mound to Fairview,
yeah.
Allen area. That's a far ride. But they all went. And
Yeah.
again, the bus transportation, Rhonda organized all of it. So all you had to do was get on the bus. And again, it's an excursion like on a cruise ship. So you're actually going to pay for your meal, right? Yeah. Just like an excursion that you would do. But they get you there. They arrange it all. They seat you. Everything's taken care of.
And they had a fantastic time.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I know. We were jealous. We're like, oh.
Yeah, we're
why
like, we
didn't you
missed
call
out
us?
on that. Yeah, we're like, you can come anytime. We're like, yeah, we missed out on a fun one.
Yeah.
So we're making you guys very excited. I know your mouths are watering. Like, so how do I get in this independent living, all-inclusive, carefree lifestyle? So how do I do that? Lori, take it away.
All right, so there are so many different, I'm going to say, flavors of these all-inclusive independent livings. There's probably, I kind of thought, let me see if I can count them up, but no, there's hundreds in the Dallas area, and they're all different. So it's really going to be based on what you're into. So maybe you like more of a country feel. We have a property that'd be perfect for that, or several properties. Maybe you're looking for something where there's more men involved, that your dad wants to move somewhere, but he wants to have buddies to hang out with.
Like a veteran, like a high veteran, population at those communities, or some activity that they, always loved or whatever that they want to go for.
Absolutely. So, and this is what I actually do. My business is we decided the word was matchmaker.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match, find me a find. You guys have to watch Fiddler on the Roof. Come on now.
Yeah. So
awesome. That was my coin for Miss Lori. She is a matchmaker.
I am. She was right. I hadn't thought about that, but yes, I'm a matchmaker. So if your mom, she's sitting home, she's isolated like we talked before, but needs to move somewhere, but she wants something maybe more in town, we can find something that's going to work for them. I like to work with people, find out what they like, what their budget is, what part of town, and we're going to match them up.
And the good thing too is that the adult children also have a voice in this relationship. So if we're trying to move mom and dad closer to you so that they can make the soccer games and they can make all the things with the kids, Lori has a lot of different options throughout the area. So we can, move you closer to where the adult kids are, or she can stay in her neighborhood and it's close enough that you can still enjoy. So the adult kids have a voice in this search, if you will.
And I will say, in this area, I cover Dallas-Fort Worth, but the options are plentiful.
Yes.
There's lots and lots of options to choose from.
So you too can find a new place. Come on, do it before the holidays. Celebrate your first Thanksgiving. They do a huge party for Thanksgiving.
They do. And Halloween, too.
And Halloween, they have little trick-or-treaters come, and you get to wear a costume and all that. So don't wait. Everybody says they wish they would have done it sooner. Don't wait. Do it now. Enjoy your holidays with a carefree lifestyle.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. So I'll drop my information on the Facebook page. So if you need some help, I'm here to help you, and it's a free service. So
yes,
yay!
So speaking of free, we're also going to plug our beautiful event here, our Aging in Style with Style. Sorry. In October, and so I know Anna has it up on the screen for you guys. So plan on attending. Tell your friends. If you want to be actually an advertiser in it, let us know. You know how to find us. But it's a free event. So free. Look at us.
Free is a beautiful thing,
right? It is.
So we want to thank y'all again for taking time to watch the show. And please keep commenting. We know there's some comments in there and some likes, and we appreciate y'all so much. So keep on watching. Please share the show. We are on podcasts, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Alexa. You know the spiel. We're everywhere. We're
everywhere. You can, and you know what? So when you go visit an independent living community, and you said Lori sent me, then you can say, "So who's Julie McCoy?" And then you can find out all the people that we talked about with the Love Boat, so you'll know who to look for.
Yeah,
right?
Find your activities person.
We appreciate it.
So thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As your girlfriends, we'd love to hear from you.
Each episode will feature new questions. Don't keep it a secret. Share us with your friends. We're on Facebook, YouTube, podcast platforms, and even in your Alexa. See you.